another unboxing, another first impressions. So today we are looking into Gentleman Givenchy Reserve Privée. What do you think about the box and the bottle itself?
Clearly the box design follows on the bottle.
Yeah.
Because of that like vertical stripe and the branding. The box is very elegant, same with a bottle. It's very simple but safe, I would say. It's nice. The bottle bottom reminds me a bit of like a whiskey bottle, like a miniature one, especially the transparency and the amber color.
Yeah.
But it's nice.
Fair. Okay. No, I personally like it. It is simple but elegant, and the matte color kind of resembles a bit of a leathery vibe. So okay, let's give it a try. So what we're going to do, we're going to spray it on 2 paper strips, and then we're going to cast our votes, we're going to rate it, and then we will reveal it to you a bit later on after we discuss it and just see how we like it. Okay, so let's give it a try.
Thank you.
So one for you. Ready? Okay. Nice. Okay. So, what do you think about it?
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it.
Okay.
Just because the first thing I can smell is alcohol and whiskey, especially, and I'm not a huge fan of whiskey myself. So, for me, it's too intense and quite overwhelming. I'm pretty sure if someone likes whiskey, they will enjoy that note. It might be interesting to smell it actually on skin to see how it's projecting, and if maybe the alcohol is not that prominent.
Yeah.
But it's the wooden notes. That's the second thing I can smell. But the alcohol is very strong to me.
No, I agree. The alcohol just comes first. I have to admit that. Essentially whiskey, but it just kind of doesn't go away.
It's very masculine.
It is masculine,
very
absolutely. Yeah. There is something powdery in it as well. I would say has a bit of a Dior Homme Intense vibe. Something I actually really like, and reminds me a bit as well of Bentley for Men Intense. It has that bit of a little Eastern vibe in it too. But yeah, a bit powdery. Alcohol is just there.
I still can smell that whiskey.
Fair,
after a few seconds.
It must be a dominant note in it, because it is very prominent. So
woody.
Yeah, woody as well. Yeah. Well, it essentially was in a wooden barrel, I presume. So maybe there's some addition to that. And what do you think would be the occasion for you to use this one, to wear it? Where would it be the best kind of place? What do you think?
Definitely evening, because of the intensity of it. Potentially like a black tie event or like a wedding, maybe wedding reception in the evening.
Yeah,
definitely evening.
So something more formal.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely not for kind of day-to-day casual. And no, I agree. It's definitely
more mature.
Yeah, a bit more mature person, a bit more dressed up. I would say for evenings, and I think for colder times as well. So through summer or like even spring, that would be too overwhelming.
It's quite warm as well.
Yeah, it is warm. Yes, it's so rich. It's dense. It kind of fills the room as well. And on the hand, it smells slightly different on the hand than on the paper strip.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It's more woody, I would say. I can smell alcohol that much.
Yeah, definitely.
I have to say it smells way better on your hand than actually on the paper. Interesting,
yeah. And normally you have to wear the fragrance for quite some time just to, because every skin is going to smell they kind of have a bit of a different pH, and it will be smelling different on different person. So yeah, that is interesting. We will have to
touch it again.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It is different.
There's definitely less alcohol, like less essentially whiskey in it.
Yeah.
How did you rate it then?
3.5 out of 10.
Okay.
It's just because of, as you know, I'm not a fan of that specific note.
Yeah.
But on your hand, it's actually better, and maybe based on that, I would give it like 4 or 5.
Okay. Well, what?
As an initial impression.
That as a first one. Okay. I did put 6, because I like the heavier scents. I like the iris notes.
You don't mind whiskey, actually.
I definitely don't mind whiskey. So no, I actually like it, depending how it's going to be easy to wear it. That rating may change slightly, but let's have a look what's actually in it. So let's just look on the web just to see what notes we have.
Okay, so it is woody.
Yes.
Oh, and it does have a whiskey. Okay.
Well, okay. Right. So let's look on the notes. Okay. So our top notes, it's supposed to be bergamot, so something a bit more citrusy and fresh. Not necessarily can smell that. I have to admit that. Middle notes, it's supposed to be iris and chestnut. I definitely smell the iris in it. And the base notes, as we already established, whiskey, woodsy notes, and amber. Yeah, I definitely have to say that the base notes are kind of most prominent, at least on the paper strip. On the hand, I think the iris comes slightly stronger.
Something sweeter.
Something sweeter, yes. I agree. Something
because on the
sweeter.
paper, it's overwhelmed by the woody notes, I would say. Maybe because it's a paper. And
maybe it just reacts with it a bit differently. Yeah. Okay.
And we are back almost 2 months later. We didn't plan this part, to be honest, because first of all, we wanted just to give the first impressions. I bought it in midsummer, so this fragrance is not specifically perfect for that time, and we waited for slightly cooler temperatures just to hit in UK. And to be honest, we've got some rain now. We've got about 16 degrees, so it was much better to test it in this time of the year with this weather.
That was a good decision.
Yeah, absolutely, because it is definitely more for winter, autumn time. So what do we think about this one then?
It's definitely still very strong and very heavy scent, but I have to say after some time, like on your skin especially, it's way more enjoyable. It loses the initial like alcohol scent. You can still smell like cognac or whiskey in it, but it's way more pleasant, and the woody notes are more prominent, I would say. And for me personally, like after some time, I can smell lingering in it something like dark cocoa chips smell. I know it's maybe not that exactly, but it reminds me of that specific note when you're opening like a bag of fresh cocoa chips, and it's very, very specific. So yeah, but it's very nice. It's just very heavy. So I'm pretty sure there will be large group of people who will enjoy it. It's just that alcoholic cognac-y scent that it's not selling it for me.
Yeah, it's not your cup of tea. And to be honest, I know that from experience. If I've got like slightly darker, heavier fragrances, you're not really liking them that
it's
much.
Very subjective.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. But this specific one, there is something sweet in it, so potentially some kind of chocolatey in there. We have this alcoholic, boozy style in there too, and something chestnutty, so something kind of reminds me a bit of a Christmas time when there is some kind of like a food, or something baking in the oven. However, it is really hard to judge this one for me personally, because the ingredients on their own, you can definitely sense the quality. You can sense the quality in there, because we straight away identify different notes in there. So it's not like just randomly blending something mishmash that you can't identify what is it, but there are different levels to this fragrance. And normally, I really like fragrances like this. I think in terms of performance, it is more a skin scent. It is not necessarily a beast in terms of projection and how long it lasts, because yes, maybe initially when we spray it on, it is slightly heavier, but after a while, it really tones down a lot, and it's more kind of just on the skin rather than just kind of being present too much in the room. With this one, you will get about 1 hour to 2 hours of projection, really pushing it, and then on the skin, I would say about 6 hours, potentially pushing it to about 7 if you're going to overspray it a bit. But yeah, it's a difficult one for me, but because the ingredients are really top quality, no doubt with that.
You definitely could smell it like on your hand in the evening after like a day of wearing it, but it's not as strong.
How did you rate this then? Because the last time it was fairly low rating,
Yeah,
wasn't
it
it?
was 3.5 initially,
Yeah.
purely because of that heavy alcohol note, which is like very prominent when you spray it, especially on the paper. But after sometimes, as I said, it's more enjoyable, and as I said, it's very subjective purely because I do not enjoy like a whiskey notes, cognac ones, but I've tried to be quite objective, so I gave 5 out of 10.
So slight increase.
Okay, yeah.
So for me,
Okay.
it is exactly what I gave it on the first impression. So initially gave 6, and it remains 6 for me.
Consistent, yeah.
Very consistent with this one. I'll give it more. I would really give it more if the performance would be better. Unfortunately, it's not, which is a shame. However, it is a very natural fragrance that you can sense the quality of the ingredients. So I would definitely going to say it is a very, very good fragrance. Could be projecting a bit more, could be kind of slightly stronger in terms of performance. However, a no-brainer for somebody who loves notes that, as we mentioned.
Definitely, yeah, it's definitely for an audience who likes those specific notes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to just quickly compare it to one of my favorite fragrances. So Dior Homme Intense. So I want to have a bit of a comparison and just to see if you like this one better. One for you, please. Because as I said, this is one of my favorites, top fragrances that I just love. I love the iris note in there. It is warm, it is cozy. It is in a similar universe as this one. However, it just lasts slightly longer.
Yeah, I would say like straight away I prefer it slightly more.
Yeah.
Because of the lack of that alcohol note in it.
Yeah.
That will have like a whiskey scent. It's more woody, I would say, more herbal and fresh.
Yeah.
It's less overwhelming than the Gentleman, I would say. So yeah, straight away I have to say I do prefer it better than the Gentleman. It's very nice as well, and it's quite masculine, even though it's fresh. Yeah, I actually do enjoy it. Can I try it on your hand?
Yeah, sure. So it's still kind of wet, so.
Yeah. But straight away on your skin, there is similarity in the Gentleman. It's not as prominent as on the paper.
So when you try, so Gentleman on the left, and.
Yeah, there is something similar.
Absolutely. So as I said, they are in a similar universe.
Not exactly the same, definitely not. But there is something, yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's been always a go-to for winter. I really, really love the scent. So would you rate it slightly more than the Gentleman Reserve Privée?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah?
Especially comparing the initial score, 3.5 for the Gentleman. This one definitely would be higher. This probably would be, yeah, around maybe 5, 6 as an initial note. Because it's not as overwhelming with the alcohol, I will reveal myself, but that's something I do not enjoy that much, so that's very subjective. But yeah, personally for me, this one would get a higher rating.
Well, listen, there we have it, guys. So in this comparison, this one comes slightly on top. However, as we said, still a very, very good quality fragrance from Reserve Privée. If you want more content like this, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.